Hello. I'll do a quick demo of a difficult planing situation. It's a piece of red oak, and if you were looking at this close, this is actually a hollow knot, so in all likelihood this wouldn't be in a piece unless you were going to epoxy it or something. But let's just assume that it's a regular knot, and this feature, you wanted that for character in the piece, you wanted that visual feature. So you're trying to surface this wood to use it in the piece. You encounter this spot, you're going along planing, and then wow, you get to here and the plane bites and you realize you're going into the grain here when a second ago you were going with the grain. Right here, just with the grain, not a struggle. Well, what's happened here, in terms of the grain, this is the high spot. And you're going, the grain is running this way, tapering from, if you saw the edge of the board, it's going uphill, at least grain wise, it's going uphill. So you can plane with it to here. And then now it's going downhill in terms of the way the rings are. On the edge of the piece, they're coming uphill. So if I was to loosen this for you, you could see that here the grain is going uphill, and there's actually a little hill, and then it goes downhill. And that's what's causing the conflict here, trying to plane around this spot. This is a case where I don't think owning, and I don't own a bevel up low angle plane, I don't think owning one would help me. It's not that I'm against them or anything, or that I wouldn't own one, but I've never been compelled to buy one to solve these kind of situations because I don't think it'll solve it. Planing is planing. And the problem is, by the time I get my momentum to here, I can't stop quick enough so that I can come around here and plane. And the same problem occurs this direction. I get to here and then I'm going to start biting an inch later. So what do you do with this? Well, I believe in planing whatever you can plane. But there's a risk factor there that you're going to chew into something and right away you create a divot that you got a big problem to deal with that divot. So you would be wise to try to spot these things before you get to them with a hand plane and do some damage. The answer for me has been a number 80 cabinet scraper. I can encounter this spot and I have the finesse to scrape and stop. I can even swivel around an area. In fact, there's not a lot of risk because I can even plane across the area into and against the grain on the other side. That's the beauty of a scraper. Not that you want to do that, but you can do that. I'll zoom in a little bit. And I'll do some scraping from this side. I know I'm good to here, and then from here it becomes a question. So I stop. There's my mark, but I can feather off of that. And then I would quit while I'm ahead there. And this is a case where, as much as I hate sanding, you know, I think it's a given that you're going to do a little hand sanding now and then. So I might just lightly, this is 220, I might just lightly hit the area just in case I've left any transition marks from the cabinet scraper. You know, the other thing is I would go to a card scraper and avail myself of anything I can get it to do instead of sanding, and limit my sanding, because the sanding takes so much time. Sanding, you can have as much time in sanding and finishing as you did in making the piece. Scrapers save you a ton of sanding work. Not to mention they save you a ton of sandpaper, which isn't cheap. So, you know, is sandpaper, in my book, is sandpaper a necessary evil? Yeah, it is. I don't love it. I don't like the act of sanding, but I don't love the look that it leaves me. But sometimes it's a necessary evil. There are woods you just can't do what you want to do with a surface plane and leave that shiny, slick face. And again, I don't think a low-angle bevel-up plane is going to fix this problem. Therefore, I've never really been too compelled to invest in one. Not that I wouldn't buy one, and yet in my life I may buy one, but I doubt if it would be because of these situations. I actually think it would do worse in this situation. So it's just food for thought on difficult spots, and I hope this helps some people. Thanks for watching.